Mikami Satoru isekais his way into being reincarnated as a slime monster. He beelzeboots boots people whole and can take on the physical characteristics of that character. This is Rimuru Tempest off of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This figure was made by Bandai Spirits, part of their Banpresto prized figure line. It is the EXQ figure special version. There's at least 3 other variations of this figure, but remember that this one is particularly special. I purchased this figure off of Entertainment Earth for $26.99. Before I start the video though, please like, subscribe, and comment what you guys think about this figure. And don't forget to check out my blog at otakusin.com. So yeah, I got this figure off of Entertainment Earth. It's always a good website to buy figures and other collectibles from. They have like a low price and shipping quality guarantee. I have yet had a package come with a damaged figure box inside. The only issue, like most other US anime figure sites, is that you'll probably be the last to get the figure. But that's okay as long as the price is right? So I'm always going to be a supporter of prized figures because they are affordable and any fan will be able to purchase one. They are always constantly coming out with different figures and you can get like a lot of more obscure characters from your favorite series. And if you wanted to get more deeper into collecting more high-end figures, like prized figures is the first thing that maybe you should try out, because if you don't really care for buying these figures, then you don't have to, waste your hard-earned money on something maybe you don't want to spend that much for. So these figures can go up to the price of, let's say, Pop-Up Parades are now like $43.99, so you could be paying upwards towards like $50. This is probably the cheapest way to add characters you feel whatever type of way about from whatever anime that you're watching, and add it to your room's ambiance. I guess I'll say it like that. So yeah, assembling this figure, it surprisingly comes in quite a few pieces. The assembly itself, it's pretty self-explanatory. The only real difficult part was pushing the body and legs together. All I needed to do was squeeze the parts together against my chest to get enough force to fit it in. This is very typical of any figure, that you actually put together in peg and peg holes. Other than that, putting the base, the wings, and the head on was fairly simple. And again, it is pretty self-explanatory on how you put this together. You could literally just look at the box and just copy what the picture on the box looks like. And when it comes to the aesthetics of this figure and the design and kind of pose, out of all the variations that they made for this figure, this one is definitely the most impressive. Like, it is a special version for a reason. The sculpted face is probably, what underratedly is like most unexpectedly impressive about this figure, as it looks like it's really accurate to what Rimuru actually looks like. Looking at the base on the other versions of the base, it's just your basic round base. They even made a yellow one for some reason, but I don't know what the heck was going on with that. But on this one, you have a more dynamic look with the Rimuru slime on the base. Putting the wings on this figure was another good move, as it gives Rimuru a more serious battle look. The only real downside to the design is that the base feels like it's just like one of those like rubber ducky kind of one of the things that you throw in your bath to like let your kids play, or you're playing with your dog, you just throw like one of those like rubber duckies. That's like the one thing that came to my mind when I touched like the slime on the figure base. Otherwise, this is a really amazing design for a prized figure. Honestly, if more prized figures come out like this Rimuru figure, I'd be open to collecting more of these. So, sculpting wise, of course, it's not that impressive. There are obvious blotchy areas that stick out all around like the cape. You can see it right in the front of his right arm. The hair doesn't have a really defined look. Again, it looks blotchy, even though the design of the base is really cool and creative. The quality of it is just nowhere comparable to any other scales that I have. But for $26.99, this is probably as good as it's gonna get, and that is still okay because it looks cool still. When it comes to the paint, it's actually not that bad. By nature of the characters or Rimuru's, simplistic design, there isn't anything that really stands out that negatively about the figure, unless you're looking underneath the cape. But who looks underneath the cape? Besides that, if you look at the face, there's like a little dirt kind of smudge on his face. You might not notice it, but if you look a little closer, you're obviously gonna notice it. There are some parts of the cape and legs where it can look like a combination of just like weird sculpting, paint, design, it's all kind of meshed together that makes it look kind of weird. However, none of those things would be at the forefront of what I would think about this figure when you just look at it. When you just look at it, it's cool. But the most egregious paint error is actually on the slime itself. I wish they would have messed this one up like somewhere else. But again, for $26.99, I'm still overall more impressed than I am angry or disappointed. But yeah, overall, this figure is actually pretty damn cool. It's pretty good. The design is like really, really good for the price. I really love like the extra effort they did to like include the wings and upgrade, the base. If you get this figure, you'll probably end up walking away, a pretty happy customer, because that's at least how I feel. Like for $26.99, when I look at this and I look at my other slime price figures, like, this one is absolutely better than those, and even the quality in some ways are a little bit better too. And obviously the base is just, they actually did something with the base. And you can get it at Big Bad Toy Store, the Crunchyroll store, and Ukyo-Kumo. If you're from the US, you might want to check domestically from whatever country that you're from. Price figures, they typically are they're typically in stock for quite some time. Let's just talk about prize figures versus scale figures for a little bit, because prize figures, they're generally cheaper, although it comes with a weaker, less dynamic design. There isn't as much emphasis on the little details and will come with more sculpted and paint defects. You can end up paying up to maybe $40 to $50 range if you're buying, let's say, a pop-up parade. If you look at these Shibuya Scramble figures, like $300 to $400 figures, although it's really cool, dynamic, has very good details that scream, hey, this is a pretty high quality. But are you willing to pay $400 or $300 or this figure for $26.99? Honestly, if you're not like want to get serious about collecting, and that's very subjective, whatever you think serious means to you, just get the prize figure. And if you want something better, obviously, it's going to vary from person to person. You determine whether or not you want to pay and use your hard-earned money on something that you deem that is valuable to you. So unless you absolutely love the design, the quality of these higher scale figures, that's within your budget, by all means, get those scale figures. When you can find some really good design figures like this one for $30 or for $26.99, there isn't really a bad reason to not purchase it if you are a fan and you want to buy something from the series. There isn't really a negative reason besides, hey, this might take up too much space or something, like that. For me, I fall under that higher end collecting people mode because I do want something special. I want to feel like I have something special because I collect things that represent something significant to me for whatever reason. If it is a prize figure, I won't treat it the same way I treat something that I'd spent $300 for. Also, there is that store value aspect to high-end figures with limited supply. It's just very nice knowing that you can recoup or even make a little bit of profit on figures that you own if you take care of it. I love anime figures or just collecting in general, because you're tying something memorable and valuable to you, and it's manifested in this like physical form that is an anime figure. That's just really, really cool to me. It feels very significant. And there's a group of other people out there just like you that probably feels somewhat similarly to how I think of it. So that's really cool too. But yeah, that's just my little spiel on prize figures and scale figures. So just remember, guys, that this is a hobby. It's meant to be fun and special to you. So be responsible And if you guys like this Rimuru Tempest figure, it is available in the US at Big Bad Toy Store, Ukiyo-Kumo, and the Crunchyroll store. Yeah, check out my other unboxing videos. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment what you guys think about this Rimuru Tempest figure. What do you guys think about scale figures or prize figures? Do you collect any? What are you guys collecting, really? So, yeah. And don't forget to check out my blog at otakusen.com. I appreciate the love that you guys have been giving me, and I'll see you guys on the next video.